Why you dey buy fake product, yeah? Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. Na SON. Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
You should know where to go. Na SON.
Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
It's still ravaging and threatening humanity in so many ways as governments at both state and federal levels battle the COVID-19 pandemic. Critical and responsive agencies like the Standards Organization of Nigeria has continued to demonstrate commitment to promote standardization and quality assurance as part of measures to check the spread of the dreaded coronavirus in the country. 16 essential international electromedical equipment standards get SON's approval as the agency evacuates over 700 cartons of substandard BIC shaving stick from a popular market in Lagos. I am sure you're already itching to get details of these stories and more, and that is what we shall be doing in the next half hour of your favorite program, Standard and You. It's Nigeria's most authoritative platform on television where you learn more about product safety and quality, which comes to you on this station at 6:30 p.m. every Monday. Standard and You is a public enlightenment initiative of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the SON. As always, I bring you warm regards from the Amiable Director General of the SON, Osita Boloma Esquire, dedicated management, and of course, hardworking staff of the agency. My name is Ifoma Okonkwo, and it's my pleasure bringing the program to you. I'll be back shortly.
Muna fata shekaru na da za su zo, mutanenmu za su yi la'akari da aikin da muke yi, kuma za su lura cewa ya fi cancanta ka sai abu na kwarai da ka sai abu na arha.
Ka yi mezie n'obodo anyị a, ka yi mee ka ihe a na-eme n'obodo anyị a, ma ihe a na-ebubata n'obodo anyị a ọ dị mma. Anyị na-ayọ biko ka anyị jikọọ aka na asị na ofu aka adịghị ekechi ngwugwu. Ka anyị jikọọ aka ka Naịjirịa wee wọrọ anyị obodo.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká lajú wálẹ̀ gbogbo tá a bá máa fún wàrà ká lè pé o tó pé ojú òṣùwọ̀n. Èyí tí ò bá yé wa àgbẹ̀ tó bá mọ̀ ń pa ẹ̀ tó wà sọ́nà. Èyí tá a bá dẹ̀ rà tí ò bá pójú òṣùwọ̀n ẹ lọ sí Standard Organization iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tó bá súnmọ́ yín jù ẹ lọ ṣàlàyé fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n á ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
Welcome to the world of standard and quality, where we offer you information on product safety and quality. The program is Standard and You.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
In case you've just joined us, you're watching Nigeria's most popular public enlightenment program powered by Nigeria's finest brand, the Standards Organization of Nigeria. It's a global reality that the war against COVID-19 is far from being over. With rising cases of infected persons, government is working assiduously to flatten the curve through several measures. The federal government has been persistent in this cause, insisting that the use of face masks, hand sanitizers, washing of hands regularly, and social distancing are critical to the battle against the coronavirus. It's on the heels of government's determination in this regard that the Standards Organization of Nigeria swung into action and had, since the outbreak of the virus in Nigeria, promoted standardization in Nigeria, especially in production of personal hygiene, protective equipment, and hand sanitizers. Lucy Ulegbe tells us more.
The coronavirus took the world by storm, especially health experts, with devastating effects on socio-economic, religious, and political lives of people across the globe. Like in other parts of the world, Government in Nigeria has and continue to demonstrate determination to stem the tide of the virus by preferring practical solutions to the pandemic, even as global efforts are being intensified to come up with a vaccine to curb its spread around the world. Major cities in Nigeria were shut down, vehicular and human movement restricted as most Nigerians stayed at home, except for those on essential service. The most potent tools to fight COVID-19 is the use of hand sanitizers, social distancing, and regular washing of hands and use of barrier masks. This development created a viable business opportunity for most entrepreneurs, especially small and medium enterprises, who have since taken advantage of the increasing demand for barrier masks and hand sanitizers.
In spite of the lockdown, we are not totally shut down. Everywhere that major, manufacture of equipment like barrier mask in voluminous quantity, like the hand alcohol-based hand sanitizers, or even ventilators are being made in Nigeria. Our officers are there with the standards to guide those who are doing this and in ensuring that what they are doing actually meets the requirements of Nigeria in fighting, the COVID-19 pandemic. We've gone around, we've gone to places in Aba, in Ogun State, at Ilaro, in Calabar, in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, in Lagos, going around guiding mass producers of barrier masks, producers of hand sanitizers, ventilators, and the rest with standards. And these standards are being made available to them free of charge, courtesy of the International Organization for Standardization, of which SON is a member on behalf of Nigeria, courtesy of the African Organization for Standardization. Even as we speak, a lot of those standards which we have decided to use are being adopted. Nigeria is leading the adoption of many of the standards, like the one for barrier mask. We in ECOWAS, all member countries of ECOWAS were having meetings, virtual meetings, adopting those standards, so that it also makes trading between the countries easy, and it makes the fight not just national but also international, in terms of people cross easily between Nigeria and Cameroon, Niger, and all of that. So we want to ensure that we harmonize these standards and it becomes easy, so that if you make any of these items, whether in Nigeria or in Cameroon or in Niger, it can cross to the other borders without issues, because it meets the requirements of the applicable standards.
It's fast becoming a growing market, attracting more investors with increased bottom line. Today, there are over 1,000 manufacturers of face masks and hand sanitizers in the country.
When the pandemic hit Nigeria and the WHO recommended the use of face coverings in place of the surgical and medical grade masks because of the shortage, I started to think, beyond the cloth masks, because they offer just about 20% protection. And I started thinking, okay, fine, rather than just making cloth masks, how can I increase the level of protection that we can get from the mask?
There are other individuals and academic institutions that are also in the business of producing personal protective equipment and ventilators, among others.
If you look at all the literatures about COVID-19, they are talking about hygienic environment, because they believe the transmission is through contact. So we started with the ventilators to take care of the challenges of those that have been affected. Then we now look around, how do we prevent others from being affected, especially when government is thinking of opening up public places, the schools, the churches, the supermarkets, and all the rest. So we said, okay, what can we do to provide a safe place for people to gather? So we came about this equipment that will take care of certain category, especially our children in secondary schools and primary school. They should have something to prevent them from getting infected. So if all the pupils will wash their hand or sanitize their hand, we are almost there. Then for public places, like the banks, the restaurants, the markets, and even higher institutions, we have disinfectant door because of the large number of population they are going to deal with. And because of the time, some of them will not have the time to say they want to wash hands. So we have a disinfectant door. They just walk through it, spend 20 seconds inside it, and it's disinfecting the whole body. So that's exactly what we have done.
Incidentally, this invention goes beyond COVID-19 era. It is basically to assist any patient that is in respiratory challenge. So what we have done is that because it is homegrown solution, we are already partnering with Lagos State government through the Science Research and Innovation Council for the mass production of this. We have seen cases where patients that just need to be on ventilator for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, they've died because of absence of this. So this will go a long way. It's a massive intervention that will sustain life in patients with respiratory disorder.
Even before the outbreak of the coronavirus, the Standards Organization of Nigeria has, apart from ensuring effective monitoring of local manufacturers, offered technical support to local producers of goods in Nigeria. As part of its social responsibility, the agency is offering certain downward review in some of its service charge to manufacturers of hand sanitizers, personal protective equipment, and ventilators, among others. According to the Director General of the SON, Osita Boloma, these measures are in line with government's determination to curb the spread of the virus to the barest minimum.
Within this COVID period, SON, like other National Standard Bureau, focused on matters that will, rather palliatives that will ease the quality assurance and the improvement of life of Nigerians through standards. By extension, we've been able to adopt and adapt a total of 29 standards that are related, international standards within Nigeria that are related to the fight against COVID. The 29 standards has been made available to Nigerians, to small-scale manufacturers, SMEs, be it in terms of manufacturing of hand sanitizers, barrier masks, and even ventilators. We made these standards available, and we make our staff available to inspect their processes to make sure that they conform to most of these international standards. Usually you pay a token amount for standards. Usually you go to our website, you pay online, and you get copies of these standards. But because of the emergency, we've now been able to make it free for anybody to access. You visit our website, you have a particular segment where you have most of these standards for your own use. Not only for the manufacturers or the SMEs that are producing some of these face masks or barrier masks or hand sanitizer, but for the users also. How you use the face masks, or how you use the hand sanitizers, or the safety requirements of even ventilators that are put out for sales within Nigeria, or things that are coming into Nigeria for use within this COVID period. We make our services and our standards free of charge to all Nigerians within this period. It's part of our corporate social responsibility, and it's part of our resolve to improve the life of Nigerians through standards.
Aboloma disclosed that government has invested significantly in the development of quality infrastructure, has committed billions of naira to the upgrade of existing laboratories, construction of new facilities, and acquisition of state-of-the-art equipment at the newly constructed laboratory complex in Ogba, Lagos State. He says more members of staff have been trained on critical areas of the human field of endeavor to boost the agency's capacity in standard elaboration, testing of products, and enforcement of standards.
Like opening barriers for standards, SON also has been able to accredit most of its laboratories. Most of our laboratories have been internationally accredited. The older ones, the scopes are being increased by the day. We are also training our staff in the lab for proper testing, because with internationally accredited labs, if we want to produce or manufacture, be it agriculture, solid mineral, and other areas of the economy, has nothing to do with petroleum. You cannot take your products to our accredited labs for testing. And once it's tested there, once you have certification from our labs, your product will now be accepted all over the world. It will now reduce the issue of the past where they reject some of our products because of non-conformity to international best practice. We have increased capacity for testing and improved human capacity development to be at par with international best practice of quality assurance and international standardization requirements.
For the DG and his team, Nigerians must complement government's effort in the war against COVID-19 by observing strictly the various personal hygiene protocols to smash the rising curve.
The program you're watching is Standard and You, brought to you by the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the SON. Did you know that Nigeria has adopted 16 essential international electromedical equipment standards? This was made known by the National Mirror Technical Committee on Electromedical Equipment in Lagos. Lucy Ulegbe has more on the adopted standards.
The adoption of the 16 new standards is in response to increasing the demands for medical equipment and systems for improved healthcare service. This development places a huge burden on producers of these products and national standards development organizations like the SON to ensure the availability of standards. The SON DG, who was represented at a virtual meeting of the National Mirror Technical Committee of Electromedical Equipment, said the standards have become imperative to achieve precision of equipment functionalities and provide value for money in the face of global health and economic challenge necessitated by COVID-19. The SOM boss stated clearly that the development and subsequent implementation and enforcement of the 16 standards, when approved by the Standards Council, will, among others, encourage local production of medical devices and systems, provide necessary benchmark to adjudge imported medical equipment, and assure compliance to medical safety standards in terms of performance, reliability, accuracy, precision, and patient safety.
Stop cloning popular brands to send their owners out of business or risk prosecution by the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, Osita Bolma, tells producers of substandard products, adding that measures are in place to stop the illegal act and promote standardization. He gave his assurance when the agency evacuated over 700 cartons of substandard BIC shaving stick in Ebute Ero market in Idumota, Lagos State. Working with the police, the SON chief executive was emphatic when he warned those who engage in cloning and adulteration of quality selling brands to desist from the illegal business, adding that anyone caught will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law as provided in the SON Act 14 of 2015. The Divisional Crime Officer, Bello Taufik, while presenting the seizure to the SON's DG representative, assured that the police will continue to partner with the various government agencies like the SON to check crime and illegal acts in the country.
There's a company in this country that is the right owner of this big shaving stick, but some unscrupulous Nigerians will always infringe in other people's products. The company has come to identify that these products don't belong to them, so they're suspected substandard products.
They have been in our custody, and son was contacted to take charge because it is their statutory responsibility for effective prosecution and confiscation of the items.
We are now carrying out investigation on who the perpetrators are. The Standards Organization work with the Nigerian Police Force and the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps. So, and it's in this collaboration, this joint efforts that we were able to carry out these enforcement operations. So we are causing investigation into the matter to be able to know who are the perpetrators and prosecute them.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigerian SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards aimed at improving the exports of the nation's food and cash crops. This explains why we have developed more standards for Nigeria's produce like sesame, cocoa, garri, and more, courtesy our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turnaround time for SUNCAP and MANCAP to reduce substandard products and legal arm to prosecute offenders. Join the Standards Organization of Nigeria in ridding our nation of substandard goods due to consistent market surveillance and raids. See something, say something. The Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
COVID-19 has changed nearly every aspect of our daily lives, and consumer spending is no exception. As prices of products double, and with many consumers losing their incomes, consumers are clearly reducing spending on all non-essential products and services. Fundamentally, COVID-19 is changing how and what consumers buy. But what about your preference for quality? Is it changing in this new normal? Quality cannot be compromised. When you patronize substandard and fake products, you do not get any value for your money, and such products can be a threat to your safety, especially if it is a life-endangering product. As Standards Organization of Nigeria remain committed towards standardization and quality assurance. Do not lose your hard-earned money to substandard goods. Be alert, be quality conscious. Welcome to the feedback segment of the program. I am Halimot Osifo. Anita from Ekiti says, please, if we buy fake products, can we return it back to where we bought it from? Yes, definitely. It's one of your consumer rights to seek redress whenever you're dissatisfied with the quality of the products. You have the right to repair, replacement, or refund of money paid whenever a product does not meet with standards. If nothing is done about it, then you report to any of SON's offices near you. Ambrose from Edo State says, does SON operate online? Thank you so much. We have an interactive website at www.son.gov.ng where you can access some of our services. Anonymous Messenger says, please come to just around Bukuru Park. There are lots of substandard materials sold, such as electrical cables. Thank you so much for that information. Our market surveillance team will begin an investigation and they'll take it out from there. Francis Adeni from Lagos says, is it compulsory that a company into garri processing must have MANCAP certification? It is necessary because MANCAP, Mandatory Conformity Assessment Program, is a product certification scheme that ensures that locally made products conform with Nigerian industrial standards, and there are many benefits. Anonymous Messenger says, almost all pens in Nigeria are fake. Please take out all the fake pens in the country. They are everywhere in various colors, yet they do not work. Thank you so much. It would be nice if you give us names of those particular brands that are failing in terms of quality, and we will ensure that they meet up with standards or they are out of the market. Emmanuel from Lagos says, I bought UPS battery and within a few months it stopped working. What do I do? Please go back to the seller and demand for a repair or replacement. If nothing is done about it, then go to SON office with your proof of purchase. Then we'll help you get value for your money. Olalade Kayode from Lawasi says, many products coming out are substandard. How do they come into the country? There are still some unpatriotic Nigerians who smuggle substandard products into the country. However, Standards Organization of Nigeria will not relent in its efforts in reading the markets of substandard products. Aisha Muhammad from Mediguri says, I love this program. God bless your organization. Thank you so much, Aisha, and we hope to serve you better. And that's a wrap on the feedback segment of the program. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. We love to hear from you, so keep your messages coming in with your full name and location to the number 0705-972-4455. Follow us on Facebook at Standard and You, Instagram and Twitter at Standard and You _. You can catch up with missed episodes online at youtube.com/Standard and You. Remember, buy original, sell authentic, and use only the best. Stay safe.
Why you dey buy fake product make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.